Hey guys, so I'm going to be drawing a toucan and then painting it on this. So I'm going to be doing it upright and hopefully it will work for me. So I'm going to pause the video and be right back. It'll pause for me. Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to get to drawing. So, alright, you all can see that. We're going to start by drawing the beak. Now toucans have long, very thick beaks. Then they've got the dropping point where they've got the little point of their beak. And then they've got their mouth. Circle around. Also, if you see my head swoop down, it's just me making sure that you all can see this, because the camera is in a very weird recording position. Okay. So basically the beak will actually get cut off about right here. And kind of get the mouth creased and go down. Now for the head, so I'm going to erase this line. I've got my big eraser right here. And we're going to get drawing the head. So you can see it's kind of got a little drop off point right here that I've kind of made bolder. That you can see. And how it goes a little higher than the beak, so just a smidge more elevated. So we're going to come back here, and I'm going to give him little hairs. I think I might actually do a part 2 of painting this. When I do paint it, I want to do a part 2. Now this is going to be, I'm going to try to make it a little more on the cartoony side, because that's just kind of what I was shooting for. I'm probably not going to really succeed at that, but it's always worth a try. And another video I actually want to show you all some of the art that I've done in my sketchbook, because I like art. I like sketching. Sometimes I pull up pictures on the web just to help me. In this case, I'm kind of scoping it out in my head on how I want this toucan to look. So he's looking a little bit on the realistic, plus also being on the kind of cartoony side. So we're going to try to make him look a little more cartoony. So we're going to have his chest start right here. And then we're going to have it go down. We're going to make him pretty fat, and I'm going to I just want him to be fat a little, but I don't want him to be perfectly round. You know, I want some twist and curves in there, so I'm going to kind of expand his body a little more, like that. But kind of make it a little more, like, so now that I don't really like how it expands, I left that first line, so now I can erase the line that I don't want there. So I'm just making sure you all can see. I'm gonna move the light a little farther back. Okay, so we're gonna get to his back. So we're gonna kind of make a drastic turn. So he's kind of got like a very, we're gonna call it an arched position. And because I don't have enough room on my page, I'm not going to be able to do his whole entire tail. I'm going to try to fit as much as I can in it. So I'm going to curve down right here, but then I'm going to start the tail right above that little crease. So it's kind of showing you. So we're going to just imagine like we're drawing this. So just to make it look more on the tail-ish side, we're going to try to put some feathers there in the back. Kind of going to erase a little bit of this line. I'm going to erase the whole thing, but then kind of still make it noticeable right there. So now we're going to move back to the front. We're going to finish his tail in just a moment, and then we're going to try to make him not look super fat, but he's still going to be pretty chunk. And we're going to draw his foot. Now, because I'm just that's just what I want to do. I'm just going to paint his feet a lighter orange acrylic color, like this when I paint it. I'll also show you all the painting colors that I'm going to use for the next video, which I might post tomorrow or even possibly post today. But when I do it, I'm going to be putting on a certain background. So anyway, we're going to get his little claw tip in there. Give him a little bump. I'm not going to be shading this one. I'm not going to be smearing it, nothing, because we want it cartoony. So I'm going to still make that line noticeable. So then we're going to go back and do his second foot, or his second toe on the first foot. So I'm going to draw the claw line after I make those lines, kind of give it a point. Okay, now right here, I'm kind of making him a little bit of a bigger type feet, and I'm going to be drawing a log later on in the video, just for extra, making sure you all can see the whole thing. Hopefully the camera is picking up the pencil line. If it's not, I'm going to be disappointed. So now we're going to move back to the tail. So how I like it is basically I'll just move to different parts of whatever I'm drawing spotted. So I feel like that little indent part that we did right here doesn't really fit in with this. Now, some people do this a lot, is they kind of go with the same length for the tail. Now, I don't really prefer doing that. So I'm going to darken everything so that the camera will pick it up a little better. And then you all can kind of get my picture on this. I'm going to darken the tail a little bit. Now, I'm not going to darken the whole entire tail, but I'm still going to get his lower half right here, so you can kind of see where my tail is going to end. And I may actually expand it a little more. And I'm going to show you all the little hair that I did for him up here. Sorry if the camera was not picking it up at first or it was just super faint. This camera is not the best. So we're getting his beak outline more indented because I've chosen, you know, what I want and what I want his beak to look like. So now we're going to look back at his feet. So a lot of the time, toucans actually only have like a toe or two in the front, and then they've got a back claw. Well, we're going to make this toucan a little different than the others. So right here, we're going to kind of complete his body shape. We will go back and fix the tail, definitely. It's all about getting the picture lightly, and then once I've chosen the shapes and everything that I want, that's when I start to darken stuff. So I'm actually going to make the mouth line. Now he kind of just isn't really smiling, but that's just how I want mine. I kind of want him like realistic but cartoony at the same time. So I'm just going to look down and see if you all can see that. If this camera does not pick this up, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. So back down here to the feet on his lower half. So I'm actually going to erase the tail. Then right here, I'm going to kind of make a bigger indent so I can get his second foot in. Now because this one's a little closer, I'm going to make it just a smidge thicker, not by a drastic turn. So now I'm going to be getting his back claw first. And I like that shape, so I'm going to indent it. I'm actually going to be erasing these toes because I don't really know why I did this first, but it's always good to get another picture on it, and then when you realize that that's not actually what you want, you always have a chance to fix it. So kind of making a lump right there. And Now we're going to make his claw here. Now I'm going to make his actual toe cut off right here. Then we're going to stick on the claw. So there's his claw. Now we're going to have his front toes. Sorry if you hear the jingling, my dog's in here and he's itching himself right now. So I'm going to take it. Now this toe is a little thicker than I would usually like. So I'm going to kind of cut the toe a little short. I may actually have to let my dog out in a moment because he just jumped down off my bed. So now we're going to get the nail in. His feet are looking a little wonky, kind of like a tree stem. So I'm going to see how it's going to look if I add a third toe. It may not look good. You know, it may just make it look more like trash, which I think is kind of where we're coming from here. So I'm actually going to be pausing the video just for a moment. So I've actually gone ahead, and the way that I drew mine is you can see the end of the wood right here. So I'm making the details on the wood, and then now we have this foot. So I'm only going to be making him with the two toes because that's in the position that he is. That's all we can see. Okay, so now we're going to come back up to the top. Now right here I'm kind of going to slightly expand that just a smidge. And going to make right here pretty big. So that's the orange spot that I want around his eyes. And then he's going to have his eye in there, just like that. So now I've got that. And then I want the white. So I'm going to start the white probably right here at his mouth crease. So I'm going to come down and then stop where I want the white to stop. So when I paint him, I know this is kind of like a whitish colored paper, but I'm still going to paint this in right here. So I'm also going to be painting the background like a lime laid back green, which again I'm going to be showing you all of my paint colors that I'm going to use. So I'm just looking, see if you all can see that. You can. So now I'm drawing it without the wood under it yet, just getting a picture of how I'm going to draw this foot. Now something that I kind of missed out on the first part was you kind of want to arch their toes a little more if you want them standing on something. So I'm not going to be drawing the second toe like this one because we can't see that. So I'm going to kind of draw the outline of the wood right there in between his feet. Okay, now let's get the toe. Now because it's a little farther away from us, we're not going to see it how we see the other ones and how up close. So that is just no. So now I'm going to kind of make the wood shape a little more distinct. I kind of have his claws kind of hanging off the side of the woods. I'm actually going to fix this claw. Kind of make it the shape that I want. So now I kind of have his claws hanging out, which is completely fine. Now I'm not going to curve this toe as much. So I'm going to make his claw shape. Because the way that I've been describing this toucan, we're going to call it a boy. And if you just can't do this, kind of how I am. Now, I'm not going to put you all down saying that you can't do this. You just can't do it yet. As my math teacher would say, you may not be able to do it yet. It's like, even his daughter one day went, "Dad, I can't do it." He was like, "Yet. You can't do it yet." He was like, "Oh, you can't say that. You know what I'm going to tell you." She was like, "Ah, I know." So, I'm not going to say that teacher's name for the properties of him. Don't even know if he would really want his name mentioned on my channel. Okay, so I've got his little toes sticking out. Looks a little wonky, but that's fine. So it's very distinct. So now I'm going to start darkening stuff up. And getting the claw, the wood shape, kind of rounding it up. Now, one moment, guys. I'm going to go do something. Okay, so I've set down this little platform under this. I decided I was going to paint it in this video. So this is the brown color that I'm going to do for the wood. These are the two different orange, the oranger colors I'm going to be doing. I just got two different shades just in case. I want the lighter one on the beak and then the more bold one around the eye. These are the two greens that I'm going to be using for the background. Now, I may actually do the background in a different video because I think this video will be too long. I've already been recording for 15 minutes. And then this is just the white and the black. You know how that goes. So, the brushes that I'm using is, I'm using this super thick one and 3 thinner ones to kind of go around it. Oh my god, I just spilled water on it. It's good. We're good. But these are the thinner paintbrushes that I'm using. So, we're going to get painting. I gotta think of what I want to start on. This is honestly so exciting for me. So, I don't think that I'm actually going to finish painting this in this one video. I think I'm going to be doing a part 2 when I do the background and then finish painting it. So I'm actually going to start on the beak. Make sure that you all can see the beak. So I'm putting my hand on the eye. It's a little hard, again, with the position that my camera's in right now, to tell. So I am going to pause the video, go grab a little paint palette where I can lay out all my paints. Okay, so I'm back. So I got my little thing, and we're going to start off. Actually, we're going to start with the wood, I guess. So I'm going to take the black, because I do have to do the extra swirls, and I'm just going to put that in there for the eye. Now, I do want to show you all one thing. It's not possible. So I've snatched up this darker brown to do the indents on the wood. So I've got the lighter base brown and then the indenting brown. So I'm going to set the little palette thing to the side. And then we're going to get started with the wood. Ooh, this paint's hard to open. Alrighty. So now I'm going to put the darker brown in a little slot. Don't need a ton of these colors. A little bit can go a pretty long way. Okay, so I'm going to set my finger on the wood. So it's closer to the edge, so I'm going to kind of scoot it over. Again, I've got this little cardboard background, so I don't get paint on my desk because I'm literally just in my room. So let's get painting. I'm going to use, not that brush, this kind of longer brush here. So I'm actually going to start. I'm going to set my glasses right over there. Let me look at these brushes. So we're going to get started with the base. So the more like basic brown, I guess we'll call it. Again, I'm not gonna paint the whole thing in this video. So I'm kind of outlining my piece of wood. I kind of watered this acrylic paint down a little bit, but and may actually go over it, and in a video I will be showing the final product. This is super exciting for me, honestly. Again, I have my methods of painting. You may have your own. So just go with however you want to paint it. If you want, just follow along with me. So now I'm going to be taking my next paintbrush. And now that I've got the outline of the wood, it's a little easier for you all to see. Now I'm going to get the darker brown in to get the little wood indents. Oh my gosh. I am a little scared on how this is going to turn out. So if you're a newbie painter, I am standing right here with you. Because I don't paint, you know. I just draw. So I am putting myself in quite a position. Kind of making it a little thicker than I would probably like. I kind of already failed on the cartoony side. So, yeah. So, we're going to try to make this circle inside a little smaller. So, this is turning out interesting. I'm not going to say good, because I'd probably be lying. So, gonna set that. So this is just gonna be like an extra line. Ooh, my god, I watered my paintbrush down too much. So gonna dab. So I'm just gonna go over that with the base color. Again, I don't paint, so this is kind of like watching a baby do hand paint. Just taking their fingers and rubbing it all over a canvas. I almost said Kansas. So the outer swirl is a little more where you can see it. So I'm going to probably need to do the inner swirls again. Also, if you have any tips on painting, please let me know, because I'm really trying to get better at that. And I'm doing that by putting myself out on YouTube. And some of you probably won't even watch till the end. Probably just skip to the end. So I'm sorry if I am literally boring you to death, but I'm a noob artist and I'm trying to get myself out there. Now again, I'm not going to be painting the whole thing in this one video because I've already drawn it. So I'm making sure that I'm getting this paintbrush nice and wet. So I'm going to look down, see if it's recording nicely. Oh my god, this is so scary. Because now I'm getting into this smaller crevices where I've got two different colors of paint. Yeah, so when the log dries, I'm going to be redoing the darker indents that I want in this log. And it's looking wonky. I'm not going to give up on it yet because I still have room for improvement. And I am looking forward to that. Great. Now I've got loose strands from my paintbrush just wandering around. So if you have any good brands of like paints or good paint brushes, this is just, you know, basic art stuff. Nothing special at all. So I've got my crazy looking log out there. Ooh, oh my gosh, I just hit the camera. Alrighty, so gotta go up And I'm going to start painting the eye. So I've got the same brush, gonna turn on the wheel. So I've got the black. So I'm gonna move it down. Alright, you all can see. So again, this is the inside. I wanted to do like orange around the eye. Also, I have a leopard gecko named Banana. Please go down there and look at all of my other videos and whatnot, because it could be helpful for you and stuff like that. I have also, if you are not new to my channel, Leopard Gecko Facts Part 5 will be coming out soon. Also, just a little heads up, Banana is back in shed. She is doing super well. So not this time that she's in shed, but the next time that she goes into shed, I'm going to be doing a video about that. So I'm going to take the bolder orange paint. I may actually only use the one shade of paint. But we're going to do the circle around the eye. Now, you always kind of got to be careful when you have black in a painting, because they seem to like, the black seems to like all the other girls. So that's just awesome. So kind of got to be careful not to smear, especially the orange, because how bright and vivid and vibrant it is. Also, for all the painters that are like, if you hear your brush scraping, you're doing something wrong. Thanks. I knew I was doing something wrong when I had the idea for this video. Also, sorry if you hear any background noise. My family is chilling in the living room, and I'm just in my room. Gotta be careful, trying not to water it down too much. In fact, trying to not water it down at all. Ooh, that was way too much. Again, I'm going to be going over it and whatnot. This is looking interesting. I will say that most people usually use yellow for their toucans. And, you know, that's just now hitting me. So, we're going to have a weird looking toucan. Oh my god. So, I'm actually going to take this color out and just see what it's going to look like. Which I think, I think it's going to actually be pretty cute on it, because it's more on the yellow side. This color. So we're going to do the beak now. So just because this is what I like to do, I'm going to kind of turn it a little bit. Whoa, that's just a weird position. So I've got like half of the page hanging off, you know. Okay. So I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to start getting the outline of the beak, because it's just what's easiest for me. Again, you may have your own painting methods and whatnot. Oh my god, my dad's screaming like a dying deer. Okay, so after I get the outline, we're going to get his mouth with the black paint. Now, we're going to use the black paint to kind of get that. Whoa, did not even have any paint on it. The black paint is kind of going to help us indent some of this stuff. It is the orange around the eye, I feel like, is too orange. But that's fine, because we're done with the orange and yellows after the beak. So I'm going to pause the video and be right back with you all after I paint the beak. So I finished the bottom jaw of the beak, but I wanted to show you all when I did the crease of the mouth and how I was just going to do that. So I planned on, like I did here, just doing the bottom jaw first and then getting the mouth line. So we've got that, and I will be back after I then do the top jaw. So this is going to be all for this video. We've painted the beak, the eye, and the wood. So my next video, we're going to be doing the body and the background. Will probably be another 30-minute video. I hope this was super helpful and you all enjoyed it. Oop, I exited out of the camera, so now it's not letting me pause. Anyway, thank you all for watching this. Bye!